Hopefully we'll get one or two more. What's up?
I'd wait a minute or two.
Yeah.
Somebody could be late.
Do you guys go to a lot of roundtables here?
I was for a while. I've been absent the last probably 6, 7 months.
You go
This
to.
guy was it.
This is my first day at the club.
Oh, well, welcome.
I signed up a couple months ago.
Welcome.
Right. Did they tell you that when you come to your first meeting, you're responsible for cleaning up? Did you know
No,
that?
they didn't tell me that.
Okay.
We're gonna have to talk to somebody.
Welcome. So why'd you join?
So I'm a CPA and I had started my practice in Atlanta, had a sizable network. I'm originally from the Philadelphia area, moved back to the area, but none of my connections in Philadelphia are entrepreneurial. They're all other accountants because I went to school here, worked at the firm here. So that's why I joined, but I joined at the worst possible time. I joined during tax season, so that's why I'm not coming until May.
Makes sense.
Cool. Well, welcome. Yeah, I joined in October, and I would say the roundtables are definitely one of the best parts. You definitely want to check out the different roundtables. Yeah.
The entrepreneurs one would be up your alley for that.
Say that
The
again?
entrepreneurs roundtable. That'd be
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I guess we'll get started. All right. So I have a slide deck. I probably won't. I'll loosely use it. Um, All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming. It's the very first social media roundtable, so I'm excited to. You guys are the first ones here. Yeah, let's clap. Why not? So my name is Zach Scholl. I'm the owner of a social media marketing agency. We specialize in videos. We do a lot of social media, short form videos, websites, videos, things like that. I'm gonna go into the different types of websites or different types of videos because it's more than just social media. You could be using videos a lot of different ways. So I'm gonna cover all of that. So I've been doing social media professionally since about 2013. And back then it was way different. You could just post a photo of a cat and you get like 1,000 likes and you're on your way. But now it's way different. It's harder than ever and it's easier than ever, right? It seems like how it is today. Everything's easier than ever, but it's still harder than ever in a lot of different ways. And so with the videos, I've been professionally doing the videos since 2019. And I'm actually going to show you an old video that I did so we can show the difference between, video back then to where it is today, because it's grown so much, it's changed so much, and it's constantly changing. So it's fun to see the evolution of video. So today, the name of this is attracting clients and elevating your brand. So I'm going to go behind the science of why video marketing works. I'm going to lean really heavily into the videos today. But there is a science and there is a reason why video marketing works, and it's pretty interesting. There's a science behind it. So that's what we're really going to cover today. So we're going to talk about leveraging short form video. I'll touch a little bit on some AI strategy. So just a little bit about me. So I'm Zach Scholl. In a past life, I was a DJ and a music producer. I used to interview celebrities and actors for different websites. And this was like right on the cusp of when podcasts came out. So I kind of had a podcast before they were podcasts. It was actually text-based. So I would interview somebody over the phone mainly, and I would have to transcribe the text, and then you would actually read the interview rather than, everything's video now today. So I've really seen the progression of media and production over the years. So that adds to my credibility. And yeah, like I said, from producing video content, I guess this says 10 plus years, but professionally it's been about 7 years, I guess, or so. So these are my past life, some of the people that I interviewed. Do we have any Insane Clown Posse fans here? The rap group, the Insane Clown Posse, so I interviewed them.
I've had my share
Yeah.
of OCD in my life.
And this is he's actually from Philadelphia, Danny Garcia. He's a world champion boxer. I got to go to his compound and interview him. And this is the rapper Busta Rhymes. And actually this was a video interview, but my YouTube page got taken down, but I did have video of that. I'm really upset, I don't have it anymore, but this is just to show you that I've been in this kind of space, the production space, for quite some time. And I want to take a poll, but actually first, let's just show the evolution of video. So, I recently found this the other day. This is from 2019. I think this was right before COVID. This is my video.
Here's for one. Have you ever really thought about the difference? It's the video poet. Fancy like a glass of Moet. He's handsome and you know it. It's Red Hand. And I'm here to tell you.
So anyway, you see how the
what?
evolution, this is how video used to be. You would have a caption, you would have the hook at the top. It would have a bar here to show you how long the video is, captioned at the bottom. This was before Reels. This was like this is when they were just videos. They weren't short form, they weren't Reels. So this is how it used to be.
So is that what a reel is, just a short form?
Yes, yeah, so a Reel, so every platform has their own version of it, but it's basically called a Reel. But a Reel can be posted on TikTok. YouTube has its own version as well. It's called YouTube Shorts. So every platform, the terminology is pretty much the same, the Reel, but yeah, it's basically a certain size format, like a vertical video, and then it's usually about 30 to 45 seconds. So every platform has their own version of a Reel. But the thing about the Reel is that it's a vertical format. So it's what's called like a 16 by 9 format, like the size, the height, and the length. Does that make sense?
Meaning, when you take a picture with your cell phone, if you hold it this way, not this way.
Correct, yes. Yeah, photo's a little different, but yes, video, anything you're doing video for social media, always do it vertical. If you're gonna do a longer form video for YouTube, that's when it would be horizontal. Because horizontal is more meant for like computer screens and TV screens, which are horizontal, right? And then on social media, everything's vertical because we're watching on our phone.
Or website.
Correct, website, yes.
Just
Yeah.
add that in. So yeah.
Mhm.
So exactly what you said, but then also if you're doing something on a website, you want that horizontal.
Yes. So if you're making a video for a website, you want to do it horizontal. Otherwise, you want to do vertical. So this was 2019, and then this is the video I just did for Memorial Day.
Have you heard this conspiracy about Memorial Day? Is the man trying to keep us down from enjoying our hamburgers and hot dogs? Maybe I'm a little crazy, but I swear it rains almost every Memorial Day. So I did some research. According to the National Weather Service, the odds of having any precipitation are 51.6%. So is the man really trying to keep you down, stop you from having fun on your day off with your family? Maybe, maybe not. I'll let you decide. But I thought it was funny to bring up. Have you heard?
Did anyone else notice that? It seems to rain on Memorial Day, or am I crazy? I feel like it does.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
So you guys can see the difference, right? How far it's come, how far it's changed, the quality of the video, how more interactive it is, the style of it and everything. So video has changed a lot, but what hasn't changed is the fundamentals.
Your phone, from your phone?
Yes, so I recorded this with my phone. I have a tripod, and I can go into the equipment, but you can get a tripod on Amazon for like 10, 20 bucks. It even comes over with the remote, so you could click record. Oh, there you go. There's all types of devices.
Fancy,
Yeah.
wallet.
Yeah, so holding it yourself will work, but all you need is a simple tripod. I have a tripod like that too that I'm using. And that's actually a light as well. It's pretty cool. So I can cover equipment later. But so you've seen visually how everything's changed, but the fundamentals of video have not really changed. I'm very big on fundamentals, and all this is storytelling. That's what the name of the game with social media is telling stories. That's what you're doing. You just have to tell your story in the right way. So while visually it might look different, what matters is the storytelling aspect of it, the fundamentals of what you're doing and why you're doing it. So I just thought it was fun to just show, the history of video. So I always like to do this poll before I start, just to gauge the room. So who here currently is creating video content? Okay, cool. What platforms are you on?
Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
And then I was on YouTube for a little bit. That was a very heavy lift.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay. Yeah, we could talk about that too. There's what's called a long form video, where it's like explanation videos. Maybe it's about 5-10 minutes. Like, what were you doing on YouTube?
Yeah, so it was essentially like vlog style, but tax content. It was kind of fun.
Okay.
To make, but it was a lot of work.
Yes.
So pivoting to just doing essentially kind of like talking head live streams,
Mhm.
but with a proper intro at the beginning,
Mhm.
so that I can just produce it with very minimal editing.
Yeah. That's the beauty of the short form videos, is that it can be quick. You can just quickly pull out your phone, add captions, come up with the comment that you're going to post with it, and post it. Okay, so we know who's making video content. Who here is consuming video content daily? Everybody, right? 8 p.m. hits, what are we all doing? We're all on our phones, we're scrolling, right? So that's why if you're not doing it currently, it's important that you do, because that's where everybody is. Everybody's on there, young, old. So that's why I like to do that little poll, put things in perspective, that if you're not making it, but you're consuming it, everyone else is consuming it, it's important that you are making it as well. So I like to set the stage a little bit as far as managing expectations, because it can be daunting, it can be frustrating with the videos, because let's be honest, people are stingy with their likes. People are seeing your post, they might not like it, but they're seeing it, and you never know who's watching. Like I go to networking events, I do presentations, even seeing family and friends. I get it all the time. They come up to me and they say, "Oh, I love that video that you just did." And I'm like, "Oh, cool, thanks, I appreciate it." I'm like, "But did you like it on the platform? Did you leave a comment?" Well, no, I didn't." "Well, why not?" "Well, I don't know, I didn't get around to it." So when you start getting into video, or even if you did it, you're picking it back up, don't get discouraged if you're not getting a lot of views, because you never know who's watching. I've got clients from people who didn't ever like my stuff, but I saw them at a networking event and they're like, "I like your videos, I want to start doing videos." So there's something called the lurker effect, right? So it says, it's basically about 90%, it's the 99-1 rule. So 90% of the people that are watching are not commenting, they're not sharing it, anything like that. For whatever reason, people are stingy with their likes and they're not commenting, but they're seeing it. So that's why it's important that you keep doing it, because you never know who's watching. You never know and if you're doing inspirational or entertaining, educational content, you never know who you're helping too. So that's a big thing with this, is showing who you are personally and showing who you are professionally. It's the mix of the two. So that's what will help you figure out what type of content to create. The other thing too is that going viral is not the goal. So sure, it would be nice to go viral, but if you're a local business and there's people in California liking your page, is that helping? I mean, it's nice in theory. Not only that, there's a lot of crazy people out there, right? Do you really want to deal with all these crazy people? So the goal is to grow your following, obviously. The more followers, that's the goal. But you also want to focus on your sphere, right? You want to focus on the people that are following you on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, things like that. Like, that's when you're starting out, especially initially, that's really the focus, is getting your name and your face out there within your sphere. And as you meet new people and you're adding them on your platforms, they're seeing your content as well. So the long goal is to get more followers, get as many views as possible, but keep that in mind. Whether you're just starting or you've been doing it for a while, you want to focus on your sphere. This will help you stand out and look like an authority to your sphere. So let's talk about the modern client journey, right? So whether you're running an ad, SEO, whatever, people are finding your website. What's the next thing that they're doing? They're going to check out your social media, because people are more savvy than ever. We do our research. We look into things. We have more information now than ever. So when you're working with someone new or someone who's never met you before, what they're going to do is go to your website and then they're going to go to your social media. So if you have nothing there, they're not going to learn anything about you. If you have nothing there, they might not think, well, is this a reputable business? I mean, they don't have anything. If you have videos of yourself, then they see you, they get to know, like, and trust you before they even meet you. So 74% of people, they research after a referral. So even if you meet someone at a networking event, you connect with them, the first thing they might do is check your posts, see what you're posting, see who you are. I want to get into the science behind all of that in a second, but this is the new client journey, where they're going to your website and they're doing research on your social media, they're seeing what's there. Yeah.
a very important point because just because I say, hey, you should check Zach out, that's not enough trust.
Yeah.
She's going to check you out in spite of me.
Yeah.
However, if I said, hey, would you like me to introduce you to Zach? Sure. Zach, more likely that you'll talk to him without doing a lot of research because there's no risk in it.
Yeah. Yeah, so why don't we just jump into that? So we'll get into the interesting stuff of why it works. It's the science behind it. It's called a parasocial relationship. Has anyone ever heard of that before? So a parasocial relationship is where you build a one-way relationship with people through video. So if you think about your favorite actor or actress, one of my favorite actors is Bruce Willis. One of my favorite movies is Die Hard. I've seen it a million times. So think about your favorite actor or actress, like Lauren. Who's your favorite actor or actress?
Don't ask me.
Okay. You got a favorite actor?
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. Love Adam Sandler. So you could probably quote Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore like I can, word for word, right? You can quote it. You've seen all his movies. You've heard him talk. You've seen his facial expressions. You heard his silly voices that he does. So you feel like you know him, right? If you saw him on the street, you'd be like, oh, Adam Sandler, I love you. I feel like I know you. But do you really know him? No, you don't. But you built that one-way relationship with him by watching him, by hearing his voice. Maybe you've seen interviews he's done, seen photos of him with his family, his wife, things like that. So you built that one-way relationship by consuming his content and seeing him. So the same can be applied to social media, yes.
I just want to make a point about that because it's very true. I'm not a huge movie person, but I love YouTube. And there's
Okay.
Different YouTubers that I follow.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. So, like, one of the people that I like to watch is Alex Hormozy.
Oh, I love
If
Alex, sure, yeah.
So if I saw Alex Hormozy on the street, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
I know everything about you. Congratulations on your name.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
You were best friends and you didn't know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he's the godfather of all this. I love Alex. His short form's great. All right, so I know where you are now. Okay. So so you apply building this one-way relationship with your own business. So if you're posting your own content, I post a lot of my own content. People are seeing you. They're hearing your voice. They're seeing what you talk about. They're seeing what the type of person you are. And by putting that out there, you're building a relationship with them. Not only that, you're attracting the type of people that you want to work with. So if you're an Eagles fan and you post stuff about the Philadelphia Eagles, you don't want to attract Giants fans and Cowboys fans, right? You want Eagles fans. So people see that and they're like, oh, he's just like me, or like Nikki, you like to knit, right?
I was going to say, unless you want engagement.
Yeah, we'll get into that, yeah. But like you like to knit, right? So you could throw in videos of you knitting and other people see that and they're like, oh, Nikki's just like me. You're building that know, like, and trust factor through the content, and then they ultimately want to start working with you because they see, oh, she's a mom like me, she's a dad like me, she's a golfer like me. So that parasocial relationship is so powerful because it helps you build a relationship with people before you even meet them, and also, bless you, also attract the type of people that you want to deal with. So back to Adam Sandler, we've seen Adam Sandler's movies. For all we know, he's the greatest guy ever. For all we know, he might be the biggest jerk ever, right? But we built that relationship with him. So when you're consistently posting on social media, whether it's photos or videos of yourself, you're constantly building that relationship with people. So let's just say you're a real estate agent. Maybe someone's not ready to buy a house today, but in 6 months when they're ready and they've been watching your content, when they're ready, they'll reach out to you and you're staying on top of mind with them by consistently posting content. So that's really the power behind this, is you build that one-way relationship. And that's why the different types of videos are very important. So I wanted to get into that too, because social media is just one avenue for videos. Anyone who has a website, you should have a video of yourself. The first thing on the website, the video of you, even if it's only 30 seconds. But imagine someone who's never met you before, they find your business, they go to your website. Imagine that they see you, they hear you, they see you're a real person. You're not some AI, you're an actual human being. You start to build that relationship with them when they come to your website. So you basically can meet people and develop relationships with people before you even meet with them. So even if you onboard a new client, you could send them an instructional video of you. You can build that relationship as you're onboarding them and starting to work with them and develop a relationship with them before you even meet them. So you can use video in your sales outreach. If you're sending emails, you can record like a Loom instructional video and send it to them. Or you could just send a video of whatever. You can include it in your outreach process. So that's why it's important that you not only do videos for social media, but you incorporate it in any way that you want to build a relationship with people. So that's what a lot of this is building relationships. And the social media aspect is super important because you're staying on top of mind with people. So the more you're posting content, the more they're consuming it, the more you're on their mind, so that when they're ready to buy your service or hire or whatever, you know, that's why we're all here, right? The network, build relationship. That's why we go to networking events. All this is virtual networking, and it's just all online. So you're staying on top of mind with people, you're educating people, you're showing them who you are. It's showing who you are personally and what you do professionally. That's really the name of the game. Sure.
Sorry, one other question. So the other day, and I know that you're gonna get into like the social media AI thing, but I was watching a video from Gary Vee,
Okay.
and he was talking about one of the ways that you can withstand the swell of AI content that's coming into the marketplace is having multiple channels. But they're interest-based. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to go hike. So let's just say I was going hiking and I was talking about hiking gear and just giving thoughts about being an entrepreneur and a mom and whatever else I want to talk about. What is your thought about that, having multiple channels, or from your perspective, if you're a small business owner, does it make sense to just incorporate all of that onto one platform?
Yeah, great question. I'll just jump into that now. So I think it's easy for Gary Vee to say that because he has a team of people. You know, he might have 100 people on staff that can do that. You know, a lot of times, even if you see like people who have podcasts, they'll have a separate channel that's just for clips from their podcast. So in theory, it makes sense if you have the people to help you. But for a local business, I would just filter it all through your personal pages. Because the funny thing is that business pages are kind of dead. You know, it's really hard to grow from a business page. And all this is about building your personal brand. So you'll get more engagement and you'll do better if you could still post on your business page. I have business pages, I don't even use them. I mean, I try to update them in case people, stumble upon my page and there's at least something there. But I have a client who's a mortgage lender. She has a business page and a personal page, and we A/B tested it, and her personal page was getting more engagement and more likes than the business page. Because we're so inundated with ads and we're so inundated with people trying to sell things to us that we have our guard up. So when you see a business page and you're scrolling, you kind of tune it out because you have your guard up. You're like, you're protecting your brain, protecting your space, like, oh, this person trying to sell me something. But when Brandy posts from her personal page, it gets more engagement because it seems like someone personally is posting it versus a business. Charles.
People buy you, not your service.
Mm-hmm.
Buy you first, and then they'll consider what you have. So if they're looking for a CPA type person, right? But they want to feel connected to you, that you're the kind of person, your values are the same, whatever. And if you have too many channels, talking about too many different things, that can confuse them.
So, taking the platform into consideration is probably big for this too. And let me know if you disagree. But one thing I've seen lately is since LinkedIn switched over to their 360 brew algorithm, like that in particular, that platform started looking at your entire history of what you posted and rating it that way versus just each post being individual. So when they did that, I noticed like a lot of people, their impressions took a nosedive because they were posting about hiking, but the history of their business was about like marketing, and they weren't doing anything to tie it back.
Yeah.
So that's one example I can think of where like doing different channels might be fantastic on a bunch of different ones, but if you do it on something like LinkedIn with this new update, you're gonna have to somehow tie it to your core business to actually trick
Which
the
could
algorithm into
make
sharing,
it
right?
Yeah. Yeah, so the name of all this is building your personal brand, and by posting on your personal page, it gets more engagement. You're building your brand more than if it was from a business page.
So what I've always done, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, but at least with LinkedIn, is I've posted from my personal, but then just tag my business.
Yeah, so you could do that. You can post from your business page, share it from your personal page. That doesn't, it helps a little bit.
Or I share from the
Yeah.
But I always do it from my personal.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good to update your business page regularly, even if it's once a week, but I would focus all my efforts on your personal page. Now, you can, you know, you only have to share what you want to share. So if you are a mom or you have young kids and you don't want to share photos of them, that's completely fine. You kind of have to find the line of what you want to share. But I think Lauren made a good point that she likes to hike. So it's good to post content of you hiking because then you can attract other hikers. Like I know Jason Zucker, who runs, you know, he has a hiking networking group. So if he's posting photos of him hiking and he's posting that he has a hiking event, he's attracting those type of people. And at the end of the day, you know, is all business good business? I mean, not necessarily. You know, we'd rather work with who our values and our morals personally, who we align with. So by posting who you are and what you are about, that's how you attract those type of people. And the funny thing is the type of content that gets the most engagement is people, places, and things. So posting a photo of you, even if it's a selfie of you hiking, is always gonna do better than a graphic that somebody made or something shiny or something overproduced. So the real raw stuff is always what's gonna do better. Because like when you're scrolling, right? When you're scrolling and you just see like a raw photo, this applies to video too. I mean, it's nice to have produced videos, but the videos style is constantly evolving. So now it's evolving back to underproduced stuff, and the content is what matters. You talking, that's really what's doing the best.
I'm
It's
seeing
been,
that on ads
it's
a
been
lot.
years of, from a paid perspective,
Mhm.
user-generated content is absolutely destroying the professional stuff.
Yeah.
And like I had a client where I was actually shocked because it was college. They did like one video that was like just their like kind of person talking into like selfie mode, but
Mhm.
the person wasn't very articulate. Like I was like, oh, this is gonna be terrible. They also worked with a television commercial company that shot like this professional $100,000 that they spent on
Mhm.
commercial, and on every single platform, the person that was barely articulate significantly outperformed this amazingly produced commercial.
Yeah, because that works on a humanity level. We're seeing another human, it's not another business. We go Charlie first.
Go ahead.
How do you know the difference between, you said, a personal page, a business page? 'Cause I was trying to find, he writes plays and he's a published for Huntsville,
Mhm.
James Ine.
Okay.
Okay, so I went to Instagram, looked him up, and that was that. I sent an Instagram message, got no response. But maybe there's some other platform that he's on, or maybe that's business, and I didn't realize.
Yeah, I mean, anyone like that, that's probably his, you know, he is his own brand. So he probably is posting from that page. So you sent him like what platform was it?
Instagram.
So you sent him a message on Instagram, he didn't get back to you? Yeah, I mean, if he has it's tough. If someone has a lot of followers and you don't, they might not see it. It might go into their spam folder.
Okay.
So outreach on social media is good. I would advise though that you try to email them. You know, if they don't respond to your message, you could email them and say, hey, I tried to reach out on social media. Sometimes people have teams running their account and they just might not see it. But anyone of notoriety probably is just using their personal brand.
How do you find somebody's email?
So usually they have a website, a contact page. That's a good question. Usually,
Contact page.
yeah, usually their website contact page, I would say. It really depends on the industry and what they do. Some of that stuff's public information, but usually their website is their best bet. Charlie, you had something?
To tie the two things together, I think the number's 89% of people trust people that are flawed versus people that are perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if it sounds too perfect, it sounds manufactured, I'm not gonna trust it, too slick, if you will. But when they realize that a person's not perfect, like in the hiring process, you know, if somebody is vulnerable and open and reveals, I'm not perfect, I've been up, I've been down, people trust that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Because we live in a world of distrust today, of skepticism. So when a person reveals that, research says unbelievable. So there's a book called Revealing that talks about this topic. And if you follow Mel Robbins, she interviewed that person within the last month. She talks about Mel Robbins.
Yeah, so that's why anything that's shiny or overproduced, people just block out and scroll past, rather than if it's just a video of you talking or a photo of you. Because like Charlie said, if it's too good to be true, then it is. The more vulnerable you are, the more honest you are, the more people will respect you, and they want to, it's building that. All this is about building your personal brand and building that know, like, and trust factor. And you're just able to do that, like I said, the parasocial relationship one way. And it's also a great way to show how you stand out from other people. It's showing your personality, who you are. So I have a good example I wanted to show. I have a client. He is a financial advisor, and he's a bit of a character. And so he's not like a regular financial advisor. He's not uptight. He has a lot of personality. So we just did this video. It's called A Day in the Life. This is our highest viewed video. It's almost at 200,000 views. Let's see where it is right now. So it's at 199,000 views. So like I was saying, we want to post about stuff that we do and who we are. So he's an avid golfer. Everyone knows him at the golf course. So I said, why don't we incorporate golf? Let's do a video about golf. So we did this video. It's a day in the life of a financial advisor. This is a quick video. It's not that long. I don't know what the audio is.
Yeah,
Okay, let me start it over. So now he hired me. I'm a professional. We produce this. So it's hard to do this by yourself, but I just want to show you an example of what I'm talking about.
Markets look good, futures are up. Should be a solid day here. Absolutely, we'll keep you posted. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yo, Duffy, give me the usual. Mr. Raskin, what's up? They're not gonna help you again this week, but here you go. We're gonna try. Have fun.
Yeah, I just have to give you a call back. I'm actually heading to an appointment. It's a busy day today. But yeah, we'll take a look at it, we'll go over it, and we'll figure it all out. All right, have a good one. You too. Bye-bye.
So that's it. So you see,
Good, futures are up.
so you see he's a character, he's a golfer. So that's why this video worked, is because we're showing that he's not just a financial advisor and that he likes to golf. So this will attract other people that like to golf. This will attract people who have a sense of humor. So this is him showing, it doesn't make him look unprofessional because he's still working. He worked, 6 minutes? He worked about 10 minutes that day. So he's not totally unprofessional. But the point is, it shows you it works on a lot of different levels. There's a reason why it almost got 200,000 views is because, it's entertaining, it's different. When you're just starting out with content, you kind of want to develop your style, but as you do it more, you'll figure out why videos stand out more versus others. But this is showing who he is, what he's about, his sense of humor, because we all, we want someone who's professional, but we want someone who's personal too, right? So that's why this type of content works. There's a lot of different styles and examples of videos. I'm not going to go into that today, but this is just one different style. Yes, sir. What was your name?
Sam.
Sam. Okay. Sam, what business are you? What industry are you in?
Audio video.
Audio video. Okay, cool.
My question is, what would be the risk of the deprecating humor leading and being a negative result in business?
It's a good question. So I also,
So that's why you keep skipping out.
Financial advising, you think, oh,
right. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, that's why we also, when you're doing content, you're doing different types. And I have a slide that was about the different pillars. So basically, you're making different types of content. So for every one of those, he has 3 or 4 other ones that are talking about, Roth 401ks, Roth IRAs, different ways he can help you save money, when you're going into retirement, things like that. So by mixing it up, you'll have a fair mix and balance of, so if you imagine a Venn diagram, 3 circles, there's education, entertainment, and engaging. You want to create content that's in that middle right there, in between the 3. You want content that's educational, entertaining, and engaging. So that one was more entertaining. But if you do it right, your content, and do it within 30, 40 seconds, your content could fall into there. So that is a great question. I have another client, he's a personal injury attorney. So there's a lot of times he might nix some ideas because of that. He's like, I'm still an attorney. I took an oath. So you kind of have to figure out who you are, what your business is, and where the line is. So for example, for them, they have what's called Tie-Dye Tuesday. So every Tuesday they wear tie-dye shirts. The whole staff, they wear them. And they've gotten a lot of feedback and comments from people like, I love the videos that you guys are in tie-dye because you don't look like a regular law firm. You look like you have a personality. It's also a family-owned business. So everyone, the wife, the son, the father work there, the sister works there. So by finding your line, you can still show who you are personally and that you're more than just a lawyer. You're a mother, a father, a husband, a son. So I think it's finding that balance because you're right, that could look bad. I think with Grant, he has enough clients, enough notoriety that he has enough credibility where this didn't reflect bad on him. But for every video like that, we have
Now, did he have 200,000 clients or somehow it got looked at?
Oh, no, I mean, he has a couple, I think he has about 150 or clients or so. And I mean, he gets a lot of good feedback on his videos.
150,000?
Oh, no, 150 clients.
Yeah, but you said he has 200,000.
Oh, that particular video got 200,000 views.
Oh, so how did that happen?
It's a good question. The reason why that happened is because it's different. It stands out from the regular videos. So if you're just starting out, I would just focus on just figuring out how to do them. My agency helped with that, but he's been doing it for a bit. He's kind of came up with his own style. But to really go viral, it really has to stand out. It has to be something like this, something that people have never seen before.
Now, and I'm not at all interested in breaking down the joys of his social media business, but it seems like the 199,000 views was a one-off, so to speak, with his most recent 10, right?
Yeah, so because this was so different, that's why that did. But I don't know if I went into this earlier about setting expectations. So this is not necessarily a lead generating tool. If you run ads, you could get leads from it, but it's hard to correlate a direct ROI to generating a lead and doing your content. This is more of like a brandness, awareness thing, building relationships. So it's more of like a long play. So really, when I meet with people, I tell them they really should have some type of marketing or lead source dialed in. This is just an add-on to what you're already doing. This is an add-on to show even more so who you are and what you do.
So, is there any expected ROI from successful things like this?
Yeah, so I mean, so we do reports. We say which video did good, which didn't, so that we know what kind of styles work. There are some KPIs. There's, how many likes did it get? How many followers are you getting over time? We also do, we call boosting posts. So you could spend like $50 and you can reach a couple hundred people, a couple thousand people. So there are some KPIs to track, yes. But there's also how it builds a relationship and the buzz outside of here. So like my law firm client, they get all the time from colleagues, other people, oh, I saw this video, I love this video. It's a conversation starter. It's a way to break the ice. It's a way to show people that you're different, how you're different, as opposed to other lawyers. So when you're putting out this content, you can attract the type of people that you want to work with, if that makes sense. Yes?
So, like I said, I do some content on Instagram and TikTok. And so just in regards to your question, one of the things that I do is I track impressions, like calls per impression. So in a month, if I get 100,000 impressions on short form content and I book 3 calls, then that tells me that every 30,000 impressions should turn into some type of qualified lead. And so that's how I like to track it. And then from there, like you just kind of walk it through your business to find out like the value of an impression and things like that. But for me, that was the piece because I didn't think that it would make sense to just make content and not really be able to track it to, well, is that going to turn into a conversation? And then, so for me, it was just also kind of like figuring out what is the quality of leads. So I've gotten leads from TikTok, I've gotten leads from Instagram, but if they're not the type of clients, then that's probably something about like the messaging and what I'm
Like a view, if somebody viewed the video.
So like that guy who got 200,000 views. Now,
Is it depending on the platform?
Yeah.
On one or the other. So on LinkedIn, I'll call it impressions versus views.
But the hidden part of your question that I was picking up on was, if he has 200,000 views, does he have 200,000 customers?
Right.
You're like, no, he's got 150. I'm like, well, is he at 150 after the 200,000? Or is he at 150 because of the 200,000?
Sure.
Where's the trade-off?
Yeah, I mean, it is a long-term thing. Obviously, the more followers you build, the more people are seeing your messaging. You can get them inside your marketing funnel. There are KPI, other ones, every post should have a call to action. So if you're posting on LinkedIn, you should have a link, a call to action. If you have some type of free guide, a lead magnet, something, you can track how many people clicked your link. Then from,
Do you have metrics on that?
what's that?
Do you have metrics on that? That might be
No, so a lot of these people, they have marketing agencies that are doing a lot of that. But I have a nonprofit client, I do that for them. We track Google Analytics and we run the ads. We see how many people viewed the page, how many people filled out a form, what was our conversions like. So it really just depends. But for every post, you should have some type of call to action. So I have a mortgage lender. So she has a new tool, an AI tool on her website. So we just did a video about that. So we are going to track, did she get, how many people clicked it, how many people filled the form out. So there are KPIs you could track. It's just kind of different. But at the minimal, like she was saying, is impressions, how many views did it get, how many clicks did it get. There's something called a click-through rate. So there are different KPIs you could track. But think about it like with a billboard. All these lawyers have billboards, right? What are they getting from that? I mean, you drive by a billboard, you don't remember the number, you don't remember the name, but you might remember their face and you see the billboard all the time. So it's kind of like that. So I try to be honest and tell people, can you track a direct ROI? Yes, there are metrics, but is it necessarily a direct lead generating source? Not necessarily, but if you run ads, which we do, that's a little different. That's more, we can generate the leads, if that makes sense. Yes.
Hopefully I'm not stepping on your toes here, but I think this will tie back to something you said earlier.
Mhm.
Because a lot of companies fail short on this. You really want to be cohesive between your organic presence and your paid digital efforts. Because if someone, to your point earlier, sees your website and they start doing their research and they're thinking about buying from you, if they go to a page like this and they're seeing like posts with personality, they're seeing education within whatever vertical he offers, like he's professional, like that person's probably going to be more likely to actually convert if they need your services. So while there might not be a straight ROI from these type of videos, if that helps your conversion rate on your paid efforts and you start taking messaging from here that played well organically and using that in your paid advertising, then you're tracking sales, then you're tracking that stuff. So, hopefully I'm not putting any
No, that's exactly it. Yeah, and if something's doing good organically, sometimes we'll do what's called boost a post to reach more people. For $50, you can reach, and you can pick the location. If you wanted 10 miles within here, you can boost it so you can reach thousands of more people. Or we could take an organic post that's doing well and turn it into an ad. So you're an audio video. What's your business? What's your service?
Market niche. There's two market niches. One, conferences and conventions.
Okay.
Two is the church and funeral area.
Okay.
The advertising is, as you can imagine, staunchly different from both. But that's just the slim down version of
use
it.
case for channels do make sense.
100%.
Yeah.
My funeral ads will not give me any convention sales.
Right.
And my convention sales don't let me do that. But to that concept that you're asking, it's essentially about, I think what you're asking is how it works in my world. When I do my content for the funerals, it's really focused on the families. And then the hope is, because it's very B2B, I'm latched over to funeral homes, not to ambulance chasing or ER chasing. Like I'm not there. I go to the funeral home and then when they get a booking, they call me. So my target audience is the funeral homeowners, but my use case audience is families when they go to look for their loved ones. But it's not fun to watch funerals either. So it's not like I want to get organic clickbait traffic of people just looking through to see a memorial service.
Yeah, I think every business is different. It's funny, actually, I have a friend, it's called Goldstein's Funeral Home. Yeah. So actually, he's a friend of my client Grant, and he wants to do, we're talking about doing things. So yeah, every business is different, for sure.
One that might be of interest to you. So I did advertising for West Silver Hill Cemetery for over a decade, doing paid digital ads.
I love that.
They do so many things to make funerals fun. It's ridiculous because they have like the arboretum side of their business. So we'd advertise Kentucky Derby parties.
Yeah.
We would advertise like casino nights, like all these different things. So like you really can be creative in this stuff. But one other point that I think is good for the room to hear, because you talk about the evolution of these platforms and these videos over time. So back in the day, a platform like Meta, 100% of your followers would see whatever you posted organically without paying. When they became a publicly traded company, that went down to 6 to 16%. Today, it's down to 1 to 6% if you look it up on like AI. So if you have 100 followers and you're only doing organic posts, 1 to 6 people is seeing that out of your 100 followers. So like when you talk about like targeted ads or boosting posts, sometimes you even want to target your own followers because 1 to 6% of them are seeing what you're putting out there anyway.
Yeah, even if you have a million
That was the concept. Like, target my own followers.
yeah, I mean, even if you have a million followers, it might only be shown to a quarter of the people.
Well,
So
I
the-
notice that with LinkedIn all the time. So like there's, folks here, right? who
Yeah.
I'm friends with, that I want to support their business. So every time they post anything on LinkedIn, I'm liking, commenting, like reposting, whatever, to help them with their engagement.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing this constantly, and I still only see like a third of what they post.
And
Yeah.
They'll like tell me
the
something,
dirty secret is
and
like
then sometimes they'll see things that are events that happen like post it happening. And I'm
LinkedIn's
like,
the worst.
why?
It is.
What's that?
LinkedIn is the worst with that in terms of like the 3-week lag behind.
Yeah.
I don't
But, like,
understand it.
one
Yeah.
of one of the dirty little secrets is those 1 to 6% on something like Meta that see you. It's the people who interact with you the most. So you essentially start serving organic content to the same people over and over again. You're not getting even
Right,
much
and how
variety in
helpful
the 1
is
to
that
6%.
at that point?
How
Like
is it-
especially if it's people you're already getting business, who've already made that impression.
Exactly. They're the Nickies that are being nice and supporting their friends when they see their content.
But I'm not even seeing all of their content, so.
Well, that's why it's important to. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask what happens with test reels. So like on Instagram, they've added test reels. Does that help to push it out more, or?
So actually, I don't know the actual stats behind that one, so I don't want to misspeak. If you
Yeah, I mean, I've used TestReel. You have to give it a couple days to really see if it helps. It has helped in some aspects, but with that video I just showed with Grant that got 200,000 views, we didn't test that. We just put it out there, and because the content hit, it just organically reached all those people. So there's a lot of people who say like, "Oh, these tips or tricks, try this, try that," but if you just make the content the right way, it just takes off on its own. But that's why it's important to you can leverage the video too. If you make a video, if you have an email list, you want to email that video out to your list. You could take the video transcript, turn it into a blog article for your SEO. So there is a ways to repurpose the content. How much time do I have? So there are ways to repurpose your content, so it's not just one video goes to waste. And you don't want to get caught up in the numbers, because this is just something that you should be doing. It's an ad, you should have some type of lead source, but this is an add-on, because if they run an ad, they go to your website, you have a video on their website, on your website, then they see your video. So this is kind of like a strategic add-on to other forms of marketing. That makes sense.
Are there ways to work around what you just described, or like I heard you say the boosted concept. If you were a company, what percentage of funds do you tell them to allocate towards boosting posts?
Yeah, so like I have a law firm client I was going to show, but I think we have like a $250 budget a month just to boost it. Now they have another agency that's running their paid ads, but I work with a nonprofit, and the budget about $2,000 a month. So we'll do $1,000 on ads. We'll do $250 a month on retargeted ads, which I didn't really cover. We'll do $250 for boosted posts, and then we just have the extra $250 to try to do it in other ways too, because we're constantly experimenting with where to spend our dollars, right? But it really just depends on the business. I mean, ads, I could go into ads that would be a whole session. But as far as the content, you have to kind of track what's working and what's not. So you don't have to put all your eggs in the basket with the content, but at the minimum, you should be doing, a couple of videos a month at least, even if it's once a month, whatever. And you just look at your industry, see what other people are doing as well. That'll help you understand what you should be doing. But you don't have to go all in with this if you don't want to. But if you do, you put in time and effort, it does pay off. But when you're running your own business, it's hard. So the trade-off is to just try to get something going, figure out your system and be consistent. And then from there, you could start thinking about boosting the posts. You could think about what works, what doesn't work, things like that.
I think this might be worth like bringing up because you probably see this. There's a lot of confusion with people around boosted posts versus like paid ads
Yeah.
on something like Meta. And I even asked this question years ago. I won a sales contest and got to go out to Meta, and so we got to work with them for a couple of days. And that was one of the questions that I asked, and it's so simplistic, and I can't believe so many people struggle over it. So if you're boosting a post or doing paid ads, you can pick the targeting, and it's the same for both. So you can pick the geography you want to go after, the user behaviors, the demographics, all that stuff. The difference is on a boosted post, Facebook, Meta, they don't use their algorithm to actually try and go after people who are more likely to have a conversion on their website, whereas the paid ads do utilize that algorithm. So if you want to be doing something where you're just trying to get views, be seen, get out there, and not worry about conversions, boosting is a great way to do that. If you're actually looking for people that are going to turn into sales on your website, buy a service from you, something like that, you really want to go on the paid route and doing something where you're going to be using that algorithm and trying to get the conversions out of it.
So let me reiterate, the difference is if you're trying to convert paid ads, they're targeting more from a sales perspective versus just trying to
Yeah,
get
they're-
more folks.
So they call it their lightweight interface is what the boosted ads are, and they're just looking at that target audience, the demographics, like age, income, all those things you select.
Or
They're
all that
not-
additional data that they don't supposedly
All
have,
of
like
it.
what your
Yes.
Amazon cart looks
all,
like, all that shit.
all of
Got
that
it, got
shit.
it, got it.
But what they're not doing is they're not using their algorithm to say, hey, like it's kind of predictive modeling. It's this group of people is going to be more likely to actually buy this from you. That's the difference between.
It's marketing data.
But the sales paid ad piece, is this not the thing that's showing in your feed?
Say
You can't wait
sponsored.
to skip an ad on?
If it's like a reel, something like that, you can definitely skip past it. If it's just a static ad or carousel ad or video ad, like in your news feed, you can always scroll past it.
Not
But
always.
I'm sure that you work with enough of these clients to know that like we track a ton of like sales stuff like that through this. Meta still just kicks ass in terms of generating sales through paid ads. So it's
Yeah,
not-
yeah.
They all have a place.
Yeah, I think paid ad is more if you have a specific offering, something you're offering, it's more of like a sniper approach. The boosted post is more of like a shotgun. You just reach more people. It helps you build your followers too because more people are seeing it. So like if you're a pizza place, if you have like a $25 pizza and wing special, you want to run an ad for that. But if you have like a funny video, you want to boost that so more people will see it, so you get more followers. And then, the more followers you get, the more they're in your marketing funnel, then they start seeing more of your content. Then you can try to convert them over time. So
Marketing funnel, long play, paid ads, direct shots.
yeah, I guess you could say that. Do you run any ads now? What kind of marketing do you do now?
No, but I just got a grant for 45 for marketing. So
Oh, nice.
How do I manage this money?
Yeah.
Say that out loud, I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, you might be, for you, it might be Google Ads.
Trying to help you.
Yeah, I mean, for you, it depends on your buyers and their intent, how they make their decisions. For you, you might want to spend all that on Google pay-per-click ads. Maybe you try, because Facebook, it can be the quality of leads could be a little lower. Would you say that? Their intent definitely
In
lower.
years past, I would definitely compare to Google. This has been the worst iteration of Google pay-per-click advertising I've seen in 13 years I've been doing it. But it's still, they do convert at a higher clip than
Yeah.
Google is higher than Meta.
Google converts better than Meta because it's lower funnel. It's people who are not doing as much research. They're usually like, I need a cemetery near me. I need to like whatever. They're actually like looking that up and they need the service now. Whereas Meta, you're going to get the full gauntlet of the funnel. You're going to reach people who don't know who you are, who might not even have the need for your service. You're going to meet people who are in market, and Facebook is creepy with the competitor stuff. Like as soon as they know you're like, let's say I want to buy a car and I'm researching like, hey, like Honda Civic, whatever. You'll notice that all your ads are going to be from different car dealerships right away because they recognize you as an auto intender, and everyone who in that geography is doing that for car dealerships is going to try to get in your newsfeed. So like same thing with cemeteries, with whatever it is, but you're 1,000% right. Google pay-per-click, even in this worst iteration, will be more targeted and probably the faster sales for you than Meta.
Yeah, I would definitely do market research. You can go on your competitor's website, go on their Facebook pages, and then you'll start to see ads that they run because they're targeting you, they're retargeting you. So before I even spend $1, I would do a ton of market research and see what other people are doing. And like he's saying, when you click on somebody's ad, you'll see ads from that same industry. So I was just talking with a roofer client I'm going to work with. I went on their website and then I started seeing their ads on Facebook. But I didn't just start seeing their ads, I was seeing a lot of other roofers' ads. So you could do a lot of market research and see what people in your field are doing, before you really spend any money.
That's kind of been the battle. So, it's always healthy to have competitors. But in the funeral live stream business, it is so niche down that it's annoying. Like I have to find people who are doing that, and typically my competitors are not in this area.
Mm-hmm.
I got one that's in Baltimore area.
Okay.
So, real competitors, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I'm not competing with them.
I think you gotta look at other funeral homes, what they're doing, because if you're latching on, if somebody's looking up funeral homes, that's, you gotta look at.
That's the target audience.
Yeah, so you kinda need to look at like funeral homes and how they're targeting, and what
Right.
they're doing, 'cause you're basically a big latch on.
If it,
It's an add-on service, right?
That
Or
is-
even maybe floral, like some sort of florist and whatnot, I'm sure that
Yep.
that's a big, so I would say, kind of look into from that
if
perspective.
it would be helpful for you, like I said, I worked at the cemetery for 10 years. I'd be happy to give you the gauntlet of what they did in terms of who they were targeting, who they were trying to reach, if it would help you out.
There's a $1 million cemetery in there too. Just so fun fact, like they
Yep.
have $1 million plots and those little houses.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Real estate in the cemetery is the highest grossing real estate in the world.
New goal in life.
It's
$1 million
literally
plot.
gold. They get so much money.
It's real fun. I don't want to be in the ground.
What's wrong? Yeah, it's bananas.
Yeah, I mean, I would look at companies in New York, LA, bigger cities, see what they're doing too. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But that is a very niche business. It's tough.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
Because you're only advertising people who are already sad.
Yeah.
No one happy wants to be on live stream. It's annoying. Like I wish there were, but it's helpful because I've got the B2Bs. I just can't expand and scale the way I want to organically.
Mm-hmm.
Like people have to die for me to scale. It sucks.
That was the worst. That was the worst part of working with West Laurel Hill, because whenever we would talk about like hitting their sales goals, like exceeding expectations, we're like, shit, a lot of people died this year. Like they're talking about sales for them as someone kicking the bucket, and that took a little while to get used to.
Yep.
Right, but if you do create content that is shedding light on something sad like that, that might help you attract people, that they see that like you're taking it serious, but you're alleviating the situation, like adding some levity to it. So that might be something to consider, is figuring out how to, in a fun way, spin off what you do and how you help people.
My dad had a celebration of life.
I love that.
Yeah, so I can imagine if there's at least somebody out there who's doing something like that, which could be more
Me
fun.
and my wife, when we write out our will, we're trying to figure out how to do a destination funeral if we kick the bucket.
I'm here for that.
And like go to a beach, and like whoever brings the funniest thing through TSA gets a part of our inheritance. Like we're trying to turn into like a whole
Or the
make a
ashes.
mock- yeah.
Oh, you win some ashes. You get to take them home.
Well played.
Well, yeah, I could talk all day, but we are coming to the end. No, you're good. No, I mean, I'm curious to know, because that's tough. That is a niche, and that's a need that everyone needs. But how do you find the people, and how do you show them who you are and what you do? So that's a challenge.
The play has been to kind of go in with hospice chaplains, kind of pre-needs space, because again, I pray each of you all do not have plans with someone in your family dying this month, right? I don't want you to have a need for our services. However, the minute you do, I would love if they were looking and I was there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I don't want to pre-need the audience, but there are pre-need audiences out there.
Mm-hmm.
Live streaming funerals
Yep.
inside the funeral home.
I can do graveyards. If they want to do one on Wall Street, I can do it.
I'm sure that was very popular during the pandemic.
It was wonderful for a day.
Yeah.
Because mind you, one live stream or 10 airline tickets. It's an easy sell.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully everybody learned something.
Yes.
Hopefully, that was the goal. Appreciate you chiming in with your expertise.
Sorry if I
No,
sorry.
it was good.
Content's key, man. That 200,000 right? So,
Yeah, so we produced it. Came up with the idea. A lot of it is just looking, let's be honest, everyone steals from each other, right? What's it saying? Good artists copy, great artists steal or something. So a lot of times it is kind of just seeing what other people are doing, interpret it for how it could work for you. So it might even be worth your time to look at what other people in your space are doing and seeing what's out there. But for someone like you, it might SEO, pay-per-click, that might be your best bet to go first. Once that's dialed in, then you should have a video on your website. You can start doing social media videos. So this isn't the end all to be all. It is an add-on. I try to be honest with people, but every business should be doing it at some level.
congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
How do you create these little videos?
So I have a camera, but honestly, I use my phone. Depending on you have an Android, you said, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the new cameras, the phones are just as good as a camera. So you could film it with your phone. There's a lot of,
Better than any camera that I could have purchased when I was in college.
yeah.
How do you put the text on it?
So yeah, there's there's Instagram. There's a lot of free programs you can download. Instagram has an app called Edit, and it'll do it for you. You just upload the video to the app, and it'll generate the captions for you. So I can show you when we're done.
Yeah, okay.
Always use captions.
Yeah, you always need to have captions.
Always make sure that they have a good color contrast.
Yeah, the sound and the
On that corner, and that third one, like those have the background to the color. That's important.
say that again.
The color.
The color in the
first one that
background.
you got up there.
This one?
Yeah, like that background over the words, behind the words, important.
Oh, I see the black behind the white.
I'd get rid of the blue stroke because it makes it a little fuzzy.
Yeah, that's their branding, so they wanted the blue. But yeah, I can show you when we're done.
Makes it harder to read. That's my expertise.
Right, accessibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I can give expertise. Yeah.
It's also on, it's on the screen. But yeah, if you guys ever have any questions or anything, I think I have all your infos. I can email you guys. I can send you this presentation. I can resend the video.
There's a white and then there's like a blue stroke and then it goes to black.
Yeah, so the black usually helps stand out. I mean, it looks a little different on this big screen than the phone, but I can show you the
So
app.
the blue color is too close to the white, which makes it look fuzzy, which makes it harder to read.
The idea behind the Rembrandt black, they added blue.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, hopefully you guys got something you could take with
Oh,
you.
and
Round table? We don't have a way of doing
Yeah,
it.
how do we leave the feedback?
How do we what?
well, you gotta tell us when you post it so that we can all like it.
Yeah, good point. I think I'm going to post the whole thing on YouTube because I had some people who couldn't make it. So I'll get everyone's info. Once it's on YouTube, I'll send it out. If you guys want to rewatch it. I'm also going to make my own clips from this. So that's why I'm filming it too, is so I can make my own reels of me presenting. Because as far as anyone knows, there was 1 million people in this room, right? Right. They don't know there was only 8 of us. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And PSA, it's Whiskey Wednesday.
That part.
What's that?
Physical therapy is making me miss Whiskey Wednesdays.
First and last Wednesday of the month. See you next month. Next week.
Every Wednesday.
Oh,
Every
see?
Monday, Wednesday. Gotta get healthy.
Do you like your PT?
I like the person I'm working with. I would like to not need it anymore.
Oh, yeah. Where do you go?
Is it from a car wreck?
No, actually, I'm just old, I guess. I got a herniated disc and 2 bulging discs in my back, and it's pushing on my sciatic nerve. So it's just been like a nightmare the last like 5-6 months.
Oh.
But NovaCare over Northern Liberties, they've been great. They've been fantastic.
At